How you doing today, brother Cliff?
Doing pretty good today, Mr. Mazonic.
Yeah. So last time we left off on talking a little bit about Donald Trump's statement about basically black countries,
Mm-hmm.
Haiti and countries out of Africa, also El Salvador. But during the past few weeks, actually, it's been a few incidents within the media, and that happened. A few incidents. Specifically, there was an incident with H&M store putting out this ad, and
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
that was pathetic.
it just made people go crazy. We had Martin Luther King. Uh,
Hmm.
was it his birthday
Well, once again, this past Monday we celebrated Dr. King's holiday,
holiday? Yeah.
and the superlatives to describe Dr. King, I mean, we could fill a room with. It's interesting to me that the people in the oppressive society continue to control our narrative, even with our great heroes. All day long on black radio stations across America, like they've done year after year after year, playing the I Have a Dream speech.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
For once, I'd like to see, I've listened to several speeches by Dr. King outside of the I Have a Dream speech.
Right.
And he put an emphasis on black America needing to do versus just dreaming. Minister Farrakhan.
Did he do that?
Huh?
I mean, I listened to the have a dream speech before a few times actually, but so you trying to say that he had other speeches that were actually more relevant than that one?
It, yes.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Yeah. All we've ever heard forever and a day is an I Have a Dream speech. I would love it one day if black media, so-called black media, we don't even own our own voice, would play some of the other speeches where Dr. King is talking about doing, particularly in the areas of finance and education.
Wow.
There are several other speeches he has given for black Americans to do, not just to dream. It's interesting, Minister Farrakhan, a couple of, I don't know how long ago, but relatively recent, articulated very well that all they want us to know from Dr. King and his legacy was that he was a dreamer.
Wow.
The man talked about more doing. In one video, Dr. King himself even recognizes where, and I'm paraphrasing, where he may have put too much energy in the integration effort, if you will, versus as much energy in educating and politics and our financial situation.
Wow.
For once, it would be nice for our black radio stations, hey, let's play some other speeches where he's talking about going to D.C. to get our money, where he's putting an emphasis on our economic situation and how we make up one of the world's largest economies, and if we would just unite, we could change a whole lot of things. But those speeches are never played.
Wow.
It's the I Have a Dream forever and a day. So that was a little irritating to me, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and that's a very important point with Dr. King, as far as him telling black folks to do as opposed to just dreaming, because a lot of times people have dreams, but it never becomes a reality. And at this point in time, it's good to dream. It's great to dream. In fact,
dreaming has its place.
Right.
Hope has its place.
Marching.
Good Lord, we could write a book on hope and dreaming. We get it.
Marching has its place. Protesting, but at the end of the day, it's about working. It's about working and getting down to business, having a plan and getting down to it. So the next thing you were going to cover was about, what was it about again?
Well, there's been a lot of things going on within this black consciousness movement, if you will, with 2 or 3 major players. And interestingly enough, I still run into 2 or 3 people who have heard of these guys, and then I can ask 4 black people, and they've never heard of them. But anyway, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and Tariq Nasheed. All 3 of these guys apparently have chosen social media outlets like YouTube and Facebook to kind of, not kind of, but they're really being ridiculous and bashing each other.
Wow.
I'm not going to lend too much credence to that. I mean, there's enough people on there critiquing their ridiculousness. But since you asked me about it, that's something that we don't need to do. Of course, the oppressive society, the people that promulgate white supremacy and our demise as a black demographic anyway, they love these type of shenanigans because all three of the guys are great within their own right. Watkins, from a financial perspective, Dr. Umar Johnson can't say enough about him and what he's meant for young black males and their health as a psychologist, psychiatrist, you name it. I think that was brought into question. And then Tariq Nasheed is the mindset behind Hidden Colors. I mean, all three of those things are awesome.
Right.
And yet, these petty differences, quite frankly, shouldn't be played out on social media. If, at anything, they should be done behind closed doors, get some things ironed out. But
what do you think about debating, like a live debate?
No.
It's not a good
live
idea.
debate would just fuel the fire and add to more shenanigans. There should be no debate, if you will, certainly not out in a public setting. Those guys should handle their business behind closed doors and come to a united front. I'm reminded of Dr. Cornel West and Dr. Eric Dyson, two great scholars, but they had a, for lack of a better word, falling out over President Obama's administration and how he ran the country from a president's perspective, to the point to where they were sowing some major discord between each other. There's not enough disagreement from my point of view, to fill a teaspoon with all of these guys to throw the baby out of the, what is it, throw the baby out with the bathwater.
I mean, Tariq,
it's not enough to even, all of them are about black empowerment, which is what we need to stay focused on. The other stuff, to me, is not worth the price of tea in China.
Although, to me, Tariq has made a few videos, and some of his videos are a little comical, like he was joking or something. Whether he was being serious, I'm not sure, but he went as far as creating a comic character, if you will, calling the man a walrus and all types of things. I mean, you know, at first everybody laughed at it, but at this particular time, my input would be, you know, for them to find a way to just resolve it without it playing out over social media. That, I mean,
and let me just add this: if they never resolve it, continue. I would say continue to take the strengths that they all bring to the table, and keep moving. We as a group don't have time for these ridiculous shenanigans and to be wrapped up into this. If anything, if they need to follow the example of the rest of Black America, who they've been talking to and wanting to change and uplift and empower, well, if we're the ones to set the example for their ridiculousness, then so be it.
Wow. So what other thing you might want to add? Do you want to talk a little bit about your organization for the people who don't know what you do, to at least have an idea? We have maybe 1 or 2 more minutes left.
Well, I appreciate it. Again, I'm the founder of Empowerment for Tomorrow, which is a nonprofit platform that looks to reach our black males only. We love our wonderful black women, however, they are excused from participating in this platform. It's 14 and 19-year-old men and their fathers, if they don't have a biological father, a male mentor or something, but a male stakeholder. They are required to be present as well. And of course, I've discussed before, you can go to my website, empft.org. If you are a female caregiver of one of these men, we understand we have that situation in our community.
Let me ask you a quick question. Why the focus on young black boys as opposed to young black children in general, girls and boys?
In my opinion, and without sounding too, certainly I believe I've been called to do this per se, but young black males at this particular point in time in their lives I believe with everything in me, they hold the key with the right information planted in their brains, if you will.
Right.
They hold the key to turning our entire community around.
Wow.
Black men, period, in general, are the jewels of our community, hands down. As we go, so does the black community.
Well, that's a great way to look at things. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could elaborate on that, but you know, we'll get into that another time. But other than that, I just do you have one last word other than your website to plug in for the viewing audience?
Well, on my website, all of the information will be updated on when we have our date and times for meetings, and it looks like we'll be able to get one done in the community here shortly in the month of February. I think the middle of February, and I'll have more detailed information about that.
Are you available for bookings if someone or if an organization wants you to come out to the city and do a speech on certain issues?
Absolutely. My information is on my website, my email, phone number.
And that's
all there.
empft.org?
Yes, empft.org. That's kind of the short for Empowerment for Tomorrow. Okay. And on that website, you'll see all of my contact information that you can utilize, and I'll be happy to respond.
Thank you so much for this interview again, and we'll keep this going, Brother Cliff, and hopefully we'll talk to you about some other issues next time. I'm your boy Mizane. Make sure to check out my album Inspired 2. It's on Walmart.com, Target, Best Buy. Just search on Google, and I have a brand new album called Carnival. Visit my website. That's MRPELLC.com. MRPELLC.com. Thank you, and have a great one.
Thanks, sir.